Well, thank you so much, Melissa, for just for chatting with me today a little bit about your experience building your business and inside of my program and kind of what we achieved together. If you want to just introduce yourself and your business, that would be the best place for us to start.
Great. I am Melissa Moon. Hi. I am the owner and Elon Healing Facilitator and Wellness Coach at Moon Healing Studio in Auburn, California, nestled in the little Sierra foothills, my favorite place to be. And I'm actually coming up on my 1-year anniversary for my own business and just really excited for all the growth and all the guidance that I've had inner-wise and outer-wise, especially working alongside you and continuing on that work as things begin to unfold and all the tweaking that has to do and how we continue to find our voice in our own business and connecting with others in ways that is really meaningful and being a part of service. Like the one thing that I really appreciate working alongside you is understanding and really just settling into that we are of service. Like this
Yeah.
work is service. Like we show up not only for ourselves in this, but that open love and like giving and receiving is where it's at. And that makes what we do like so powerful.
So powerful. And I think that's why we're all here. I mean, I know, you have a similar mission to me. Obviously, we do different work, but we're here to make a difference and we're here to heal and we're here to serve. And it's even more incredible when obviously you can see the transformation happening in your clients, but when you're also open and able to receive, payment for your services as well. And we were
Yeah,
just
which
talking before we started recording this, like you wanting to retire your husband and you're not too far off of that. So there's, it's like kind of a win-win situation.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, being of service to our community and just all those things. It's so encompassing. It's like we just don't have businesses. It's so
Right.
much more than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Which I think is what I love about this community is that just we draw so many spiritual women together. And before we kind of dive in a little bit to your journey, I like to say up front, just so that people can kind of hear your monetary progression, because obviously that's kind of at the first in front of everyone's mind is like, what's possible for me? What is it? Is it possible for me to earn money in my business? And if so, what does that look like and how soon and all the things? So you started your business about a year ago, which was basically in the middle of COVID. And we started working together in October, November of 2020. And pretty soon after you joined Soul Business Accelerator, I think you can just kind of tell me again, you had a $2,500 month and then
A 27, and then I hit my 3,000 like energetic set point, and then jumped up to a $9,200 month, and then last month was 8,000.
amazing. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, first of all, like huge congratulations, because that is so exciting. I was telling you before, that was even bigger than you're hitting bigger numbers sooner than I hit big numbers in my business. So I'm really excited for your progression. But let me just kind of pull you back a little bit. When you decided to work with me inside of Soul Business Accelerator, where were you at in your business and what were you struggling with?
So I got to be a part of your Facebook
Yeah.
launch with the 3 days of that 30 to 40-minute coaching.
Yeah.
And when I found you, I was having a conversation with myself about wanting just to be better at business.
Yeah.
Because that is, I mean, we have to be the entrepreneur, we have to be the technician, we have to be the manager. There's a lot of working parts that are happening in a one unit, business thing that's happening. And I mean, thank God I don't have inventory to keep track of, and that's like a whole, whatever. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of moving parts. And so I just was like, I need to be better at business. Like, what is this business aspect? And I have like models and systems that I can rely on in regards to the training that I've had. But I also was struggling to find my voice in that and like my own personal my own personalness to what it is and who I am being while I'm doing this thing. And so when I got to hear you talk, I mean, you were just hitting on points of just being able to external market, you know, the roadmap to success, and just like these things that I'm like, I just felt like I was just like stuck on the road, not moving anywhere per se. And it's just like I just needed some direction. And what you had talked about and just how I was vibing with the things that you were teaching, it was like, okay, I feel like if I hook up with Erica, she's not only gonna give me a roadmap, but like I'm gonna have someone to walk along the road with. And
Yeah.
that was huge because I felt very alone in
Yeah.
that regard.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's the biggest part too, is we do this by ourselves. And oftentimes, you know, our partners or our husbands, our spouses are not entrepreneurs. Most of the time, our friends are not entrepreneurs. Our family aren't entrepreneurs. So we literally feel like this lone wolf, and nobody understands that building a business is freaking hard because, like you said, not only do we have to know and master our craft, whether we're a health practitioner, a chiropractor, a therapist, or a coach, or a spiritual healer, or a psychic or a medium, we have to master that craft. But also, like you said, we have to master our business as well if we want to have an actual business and not just an expensive hobby. So it's quite the journey.
Yeah, absolutely. And like a lot of the permissions around being open to like asking for help and like hiring a coach and like having mentorship, it's essential.
Yeah, completely. So what do you think was I mean, obviously, aside from, you know, really boosting your income up to where, you know, it's um an income that you can live off of, right? Like once you get to that 6, 7, 8, 9, $10,000 a month point, you can actually live off those incomes, you know, pretty good. So aside from that, what do you think was your biggest result inside of the program, or your biggest mindset breakthrough?
Of my biggest mindset breakthrough was really just finding my voice, like that whole like elevator pitch. Like I help people who are ready to revitalize and transform their life by improving their body with ease so that they have the vital energy they need to be healthier than they've ever been and become the person they want to be. To be able to have something so complete and so condensed in a way where it's like to the stranger on the street, here you go. Hey, here's my card. Would you like an initial consultation? They're complimentary.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
huge. That's a breakthrough in talk and being excited about it and living those words to have verbiage that you can back up and like get behind
Yeah.
as an entrepreneur and for the things that you do is so vital.
Huge. I think that's honestly one of the biggest challenges that people face when they're starting their business is they actually don't know exactly what they're selling. They don't know the transformation that they provide. And if they do, they don't know how to verbalize it or to sell it. So like you just said, having that wording around what you do that they can understand and grasp, and that they can be like, yes, I know I need that, is honestly such a game changer. That's a pivotal point for a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely. And it creates so much excitement once like you get that dialed in.
Yeah.
There's so much more excitement and the ability to want to talk to people about it.
Yeah, like being excited to talk to people about it rather than scared or
Oh
terrified
yeah.
or afraid or
Yeah, because it's like if you're just like word vomiting out and you're like, yeah, I do really good work, come see me. You know, it's like, you know, you don't really want to
Okay.
leave people you don't want to leave people confused at the end of your experience, you know, your interaction with them.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Which I think most of the time we do. And I think, you know, if I remember in the beginning, we really worked on your messaging and your wording. And a lot of times what we want to do as coaches or healers or health practitioners is we speak our own language. And oftentimes
yeah.
it's over someone else's head. Like they don't understand what that means. And I remember, I think you were doing that as well. I was doing that when I started my business. And so really to bring it down to something tangible and in the languaging that people speak and actually using words that they say, makes all the difference.
Oh, 100%, especially with what I do, because my stuff, you
Yeah.
know, is definitely woo-woo-y, where it's like, come in, let me touch your spine and ask you to breathe. And it's like, what are we doing?
You're not a
I mean, I got
chiropractor, you're not a Reiki master. So what are you? Yeah, totally.
exactly. I mean, people in care who are super happy in care are still even like, X amount of entrainments in, they're like, I just still don't even know what you're doing, but it's working.
But it's
Like,
working.
great.
Yeah,
The
totally.
less talking, the better.
The less talking, the better. Just let me touch you. So what do you think was,
Exactly.
I mean, what was your experience, just kind of overall of Soul Business Accelerator and the community in there? What was that like for you going through those 4 months?
I was so excited for our Thursday calls and to be connected with women who are doing fucking amazing things and like around the world,
Yeah.
and getting to connect with, the handful of women, seeing them struggle, seeing them completely in celebration, other people asking questions that you have inside of you, being able to bounce things off of one another. Like, there's a support system. And that whole idea of like, we're not doing this alone, we're all in front of our computers, talking to one another, seeing and witnessing one another in a way that is super vulnerable and super courageous. And we're like all trying to do this thing.
Yeah.
And we're trying to do it with excellence. And so being a part of just like this high caliber of women doing this service and this work for one another, I mean, in and of itself, it was really healing and inspiring.
Yeah, completely. So what would you tell somebody who is thinking about joining Soul Business Accelerator, or they're on the fence, or they're at the very beginning stages of their business where you were, when you started?
My advice would be is to get off the fence and make the leap. There's excitement in the unknown, and your program does not disappoint. And I love that I can, like, I was thinking about it this week. I'm like, ooh, like, to go back to all the modules. I'm like, ooh, maybe I can do some refining. Maybe I can like dive in a little bit deeper. What else can I do? How else can I find more discovery about myself through what you offer? And just, it's nice to have something that's so laid out,
Yeah.
and then there's no guessing. And
Yeah.
so for that, it was like, for me, a busy mom of two, trying to do this thing, trying to do it amongst the pandemic, like feeling confused. It just, if you don't want to be confused, like, your program has been so pivotal for me to be like, I have clarity. There's so much clarity.
Clarity, direction, and a plan.
Yeah,
Well, I
absolutely.
remember you were on the fence. I think when we had our call, you were like, yeah, it's pretty expensive. I'm not sure if I want to make that investment. I don't think you'd made an investment, of that size yet in your business. And then I think you talked to a previous client of mine and you decided to jump in. What was it that made you, decide to take the leap and like really put yourself out of your comfort zone and invest?
Well, I knew I wanted to invest. I knew I needed to do it. Like, the step needed to be made, and I was ready for it in my body. My body was like, yes. And then being able to talk to someone who's been working with you. I think she's probably still working with you,
Yeah,
Liz.
she is.
Liz?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
still is. Yeah.
Um, yeah. And it was just so serendipitous that I had like connected with her. We were in the same region. I'd been watching her on Instagram and just super connecting with how she was showing up, and the language and her message, and the fact that it was such a reflection of her work with you, and her giving you this review that she's just like, oh my gosh, like, working with Erica has been so monumental. And it was just that little extra push that I was like, yes, I'm doing this.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. Thank you so much. Is there anything
Yeah.
else that you wanted to share? Anything else that you think would be helpful for somebody?
Hmm. Be willing to get a little uncomfortable, and like,
Yeah,
and
totally.
find people who are willing to be uncomfortable with you.
That's a good one. The first year of
Like,
business, and well, I
yeah,
mean,
to
all
bump into
years of
those,
business, it's uncomfortable, right? Like it's uncomfortable as fuck.
so uncomfortable, and like, be around people who've gotten uncomfortable. you know, and who've gone through it and is on the other side of it, kind of, right? Like levels of other side. But yeah.
And I think people who are going to help you push through that and help you, you know, be more committed to your success than committed to your fear, I think is so powerful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it's important how we share our dreams and who we share our dreams with.
Yeah.
And, you know, I want to know that I feel supported in when I share those dreams or those new ideas, that I'm surrounding myself with people who are like, absolutely, because they've been there.
Because they've been there, they've already done it. That's, I think, the biggest thing that I always tell people too, whether it's me or another coach, like find someone who has done what you want to do and work with them. And that is honestly how I've gotten to where I am. It's like I pick and choose and I work with people who I feel really soul aligned with, but also people who have created what I want to create. They've been there, they've done it. They know the challenges, you know, there are no such thing as overnight success. They've done the work and they do the work, and we continually do the work. So
yeah, that's the fun part, is to get to continue to do the work.
Oh, I so love you. Well, thank you so much